Hey boys and girls, welcome to another super exciting, outrageous movie trailer review.
This is becoming a thing now.
Yeah. So we're looking at Captain America Civil War. We just watched trailer 1 and trailer 2, and I have a lot of thoughts, but let's look at your first look.
First of all, I'm a huge fan of the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. I've liked all the movies so far. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of lost me a little bit, but that's, a side note to this whole thing. So I'm excited to bring all these characters back. I know this movie's a little bit dark again because we're in a civil war. Winter Soldier was a great movie, and I really like it, but I do enjoy fun superhero movies. So that's the thing that worries me the most, is that it's going to be too serious. We're all fighting each other. We all hate each other. It'll drag down the fun aspect of it. But I'm so excited to have Spider-Man in this movie. Spider-Man's my all-time favorite Marvel superhero. I've seen the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie a ridiculous number of times. So I just really like Spider-Man, and I'm glad that they're using him, and we don't really see much, but it looks pretty promising.
I mean, Spider-Man in the trailers, I like the idea of Spider-Man at face value, and I think he's awesome. But you're looking at the trailers, and the trailers are painting a picture of this philosophical argument between Tony Stark, Captain America. You're looking at a team divided over, there's been a lot of collateral damage throughout the various conflicts that have led up to this point. And you're definitely seeing the Captain America series, which was very much a series apart from Avengers and Iron Man and these fantastical stories. It was more like the spy novel type stuff and World War II, and all within the context of that kind of more, Black Ops Marvel universe.
It's more
military driven type thing. So now we're taking this story that's been, I'm not going to say self-contained, but it's been very much different in tone from the rest of, it's not Thor. It's very much different in tone from the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And now we're bringing in guys like Spider-Man, who are going to have a comic relief element. You're bringing in guys like Vision, who, the idea of the Vision or Scarlet Witch being involved with a military black project and stuff is just totally off.
Yeah.
And, they have a tough task. They have minimum 10 characters that all need to find screen time. They have the tone that's been set by the prior Captain America movies that they need to honor. And they have the plot line of the Infinity Gems and all of the things that happen in Avengers and all of the things that are going on in the larger MCU that they have to speak to. My biggest fear is, will they have enough time to get done all of the things that this movie needs to get done?
Well, the one thing on its side is that it's a part 1, right? Civil War is going to be 2 movies. So they have to do a lot of the things you're saying, but they don't have to do all of them. Like maybe the Infinity War thing tie-in will happen in the second part.
I think that would be smart.
You know what I mean? But yeah, they're going to have to get a lot of characters, a lot of screen time. You need enough backstory that people know who Spider-Man is and Black Panther. I'm not saying we need origin stories, but they're brand new characters that have no stakes in the game, and they've picked a side. So you have to give them some reason for that.
Yeah. It may just be me inferring, but I feel like we're going to be introduced to Black Panther through the lens of Wakanda. Yeah. And I felt that way because I felt like some of the generic soldiers that were being fought in the trailer were the Wakanda people.
And they at least introduced that country and some concepts in the last Avengers movie. Which, that's my favorite thing about the MCU, is that it's so well planned out that they drop those little hints, so that way they don't have to do too much origin story later. That this country exists and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. They kind of slowly build you into that stuff. I know a lot of people don't like that Spider-Man squints sort of in that trailer. And it's a little bit odd, but I like that it kind of captures that in the comics they sometimes are expressive with their masks. They don't always draw them the same way, and they sometimes show a little bit of emotion. I think that's kind of cool, and it's a good compromise because I hate the fact that in modern superhero movies they take their masks off all the time because the directors want to see the actors emote.
Right.
Like in Deadpool, I mean, he takes his mask off a lot, but they had some facial expression through the mask, which I assume was CGI, and I'm assuming these eyes squinting are CGI. But I'm much happier with that than the Green Goblin taking his mask off all the time in the original Sony movie, or Spider-Man's mask getting ripped every fight so you could see his face. That gets old.
Yeah, I remember in the Spider-Man movies constantly being like, "What are you doing?"
Everybody just saw you on that train without your mask on.
There's no way no one saw you. You know what is going on. So overall, I mean, I'm very excited. Captain America to me is my favorite of the MCU. Okay. Continuing the mainline story through Captain America movies seems like a great idea. I love the way that Black Panther looks. Mm-hmm. I have no problem with the way that Spider-Man looks. I just hope that the movie will have a plot. I felt like my biggest criticisms of the Avengers movies is it's like events occurring in sequence, but there's no like cohesive story. I feel like it falls apart in places because they're like, I gotta get to this, I gotta get to that, I gotta get to this, which is very much what the comic medium does. It's episodic. Right.
And that's, I think, why the DC Universe has done so well in the TV format.
Right.
And then Marvel's only really explored through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know, in the MCU. But comics, because they're a monthly book that comes back, it works well on TV. And then I think they're doing a good job of trying to do it, at least in movies.
Yeah, it's... I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., by the way. I know that you said that you...
I started out liking it.
Yeah.
And then it actually, I think... Winter Soldier is what killed it for me.
Right.
Because they had to deal with that storyline, and it changed the show so much. I still enjoy it, but I'm not into it like I was into it.
My biggest fear about Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that they're basically setting up for a movie that's not going to happen for years.
Right.
You know, it's like all of this Inhuman plot. Right. I mean, there are seasons of plot that will directly feed into a movie that isn't happening for 2 or 3 years.
And I wonder how all that's going to pan out by then. Will they still be able to get these actors, or will none of those characters actually be in it? They'll just be like references? Like,
I mean, Daisy has to be in it.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, you know? I mean, that's the way that is. But yeah, you know, we're not very far from the movie coming out. Is it May?
I think so. Yeah, the very beginning of May.
Very beginning of May. I'm going to be there on day one, regardless of the little things I said. Looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
Thanks for watching this super exciting, outrageous movie trailer review.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out all of their videos.